Yeah, I messaged Will, but haven't heard back. But if he messages at some point, we'll just bring him in. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And if not, fuck you, Will. That's all
If
I have to
not,
say to you.
that's absolutely fine.
Twat.
All right, shall I just I'll just introduce us and then we'll just get straight into it, I think.
Yeah.
All right, so well, welcome to episode 16 of the If You Know You Know podcast. And this week we have, as ever, the man who mistakenly thinks he's in control. It's Mike Price. And joining me this week, now I want everyone to be quite sensitive to him today because he's not a good actor. He's hanging on by a thread. And I think really he is just one coy bitch. It's Lenny Greenfield. Right, so that's I mean no special guest today this week, Lenny. So I think wow, what an episode.
Oh, God. Brings back such great memories.
It's definitely one I've been looking forward to for a while.
It's the only reason I agreed to do this podcast. It's just for this moment where you all doubted me. You all doubted me. Wow.
Can I say all across the board as well? Isaac throughout this episode, absolutely hilarious all the way through. Big Dog reading you like a book and coming up with that incredible plan to take out Lucy in case there was an idol played. You definitely should have gone, gets absolutely rinsed in the immunity challenge, and then manages to convince Holly, who you voted for in the previous round, to play her idol for you to save you. Holly, who goes through with this insane scheme and manages to completely flip the game. Lucy, who has an idol, who like got the whole game figured out as to what she thought would happen for like the next few rounds. Getting blindsided, Sock winning immunity, being on board with that plan, and then you can just like focus on Sock if you watch it back as Lucy's getting
Okay.
blown out and just like observe his soul leaving his body and Divya being like in the middle of everything and then almost taking herself out of the game.
I can't believe it. Watching it back, like, Divya is one lucky girl.
Oh my God. Yeah, wow, there is so much to get into this week. Do you have any immediate thoughts just at the top of the episode, Lenny?
I'd say, wow, I'm amazing. How's he still here? How's he done it? Um, you know, sure, I couldn't turn Isaac round, but got the next best thing. I didn't realise Isaac came for me so hard. I found it really funny.
Yeah, all through that round, just every conversation Isaac's in, it's just absolutely hilarious. We've got a bit at the start of the episode, Lenny. You're searching for an idol, and this search goes on for quite a while. Actually, there's a few minutes of this because at the
Yeah,
start of the episode, I think. Oh, so everyone gets given the survey, so everyone's filling out the yeah.
yeah. I
So,
just didn't do it properly.
right, okay.
I think I just ticked my name for everything and then just gave it to you, and then was like, yeah, let's just look around the garden because I knew what challenge it was, so I knew I was getting fucking voted out straight away in the challenge. Um, I might as well have just asked not to take part and carried on looking. I had a little look around,
Mm.
found
Little
nothing.
conversation with Sock as well.
What did I say? Oh yeah, he's just playing his game. Fuck off.
But we also see a chat between Big Dog and Divya, and this might answer a few questions that we've had, depending on whether you believe Big Dog or not. Because in the past couple of podcasts, we've been discussing, who's really at the top of this Big Dog Isaac Divya alliance. But it looks as though, well, Big Dog definitely wants to take Divya to the end. But I think maybe the question is Big Dog likely to beat Isaac in that final challenge? And I think maybe less likely.
Yeah, potentially I'd back Isaac in basically any challenge. You put your money, at least a bit of your money on him to bring it home.
Yeah, he's surely the favourite over Big Dog in the majority of physical challenges at this point.
Yeah, Big Dog's very good at puzzles though.
I mean, to be
Yeah.
fair, the two puzzle masters for the Ruba tribe were Big Dog and Isaac, if you remember from the tree puzzle. So
Oh, I just didn't remember Isaac fucking that. Not that I'm salty, but we would have won another immunity if he could. God, if his hands weren't. Imagine knocking something. Can you imagine me on that tree puzzle though? I actually think it would have been impossible.
Okay, so shall we go through the immunity challenge? So first of all, the player that least deserves to still be in the game, Lenny. Do you think this one was harsh?
What for me?
Yeah.
No, it's probably fair, isn't it? Because I am going out this round.
Does that does that mean you least deserve to be in the game though?
Oh, maybe not. Yeah, if not, it's going to be like Sock Lucy or probably just Sock or Lucy. But I think it's probably
Surely,
fair, isn't it?
if you're gonna do it at this point in the game, you pick Sock.
Yeah, maybe, but I don't know. I could have gone out in the last round. So if you go by that logic,
I
I mean,
guess.
there's more egregious ones that I got voted for.
Who would blow the money the fastest? That was Sock, apparently.
That's a layup, in my opinion.
Yeah, a bit of a gimme. Not lived up to their potential, Lenny.
I feel like I've done exactly what what you'd expect from a Lenny Greenfield Survivor game.
Do you think you lived up to your potential in this round? Was that the kick you needed to get you to turn on the
Do you know
majority?
what? I finally will live up to my potential. I think I've exceeded my potential at this point in the game. Um,
Do you know what? I'm not sure you have yet because you've now tied your previous placement.
that's true. That is
So,
that's what I was thinking about, to be honest. Afterwards, I was like, because I was that round, I was like, oh, I've done worse. Because I got to that point, I was like, I do kind of want to do better.
so maybe that means that you exactly lived up to your potential. You've made it to top six, and that was your potential based off the first
My,
game.
I am a sixth place person.
Most likely to be successful in life was Isaac. There you go.
Yeah, he's just good at everything, isn't he?
It's always a nice one to get. Never survive on their own on an island. That was Sock. I think another layup there.
Yeah, probably fairly unanimous.
Mm. Mistakenly thinks they're in control of this game. That was you.
Yeah, I don't quite get. Do you know who put me down for that? What were they thinking?
Now this is probably what I should have done at the start of the before we start recording. Should have wandered into the old garage and had a little
Got
look
the
through at
sheets
the
out.
yeah, and got the sheets out. I think I do still have some of them, but I will still have the master sheets. I know that a lot of them were close, and you putting yourself for a lot of them rigged it to be you.
That was also part of my strategy of like, just in case there's a lot of ties and maybe I can somehow sneak through a little bit. But I always, if it's a close one, I'll put myself just. But obviously, I went out straight away, so that never came up.
And
A
then
lot of winning from me this round.
uh, well, people said that they would least like to see you win as well.
Yes.
So that was the other one. I think, yeah, as I said, a lot of these you putting yourself just snuck it for you. Um, I think maybe that one was a bit more unanimous. I think there's a lot of sentiment against you at that point in the game.
Yeah, people were fuming. Like, step against the establishment. That's what you're meant to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly the way that you should play the game. You feel like you're in a bad position, you should do what you can to get yourself into a good position. I think we can discuss whether we think you're in a good position at the end of the episode or not. But I think, do you know what? You're still in the game, and we didn't think that going into this episode. So
Yeah, arguably, I don't think I'll ever be in a good position from this point forward.
I think that's fair. What do we think of the rest of the challenge? Sock ends up winning.
Yeah, I actually couldn't remember who won immunity in this,
Hmm.
and that was a surprise. I mean, I probably could have worked it out actually if I just knew who'd obtained votes. But I thought it was going to be Holly that won.
Hmm.
But yeah, Sock, fair play.
Well, I mean, Sock and your names are really the only ones that have been out and about the last couple of rounds. Do you think there's a chance that people would have still been saying his name this round? Would that have been maybe the target you would have pushed for?
I wouldn't have pushed for Sock.
Hmm.
Absolutely not. Um, I would have told him that they were pushing for Sock or something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Get in his head.
Did you even chat to Sock at all in this strategy session? I don't remember.
I gave him a hug after the challenge.
Right. Okay. That was the extent of it. Okay.
Yeah, and I think we shook hands because that was it for me. So
Where did you go after the challenge? Because you disappear. You go inside the house for some reason.
I'd probably go to look for an idol.
Right. Okay.
And well, the I went out, walked by myself, cleared the mind, and then in came the brilliant plan. Let's do everything I can. Let's throw the whole kitchen sink at at people to try and get them to play my idol for or their idol for me.
So throughout during this, you see every other conversation with everyone just being like, "So Lenny, yeah," and everyone's like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, obviously." But then Lenny, we see a second plan forming. Well, obviously the first plan is Lenny still goes, but then the second plan
yeah,
is so now what happens next round? And we
yeah.
see Lucy, Sock, and Holly all get together, and they're like, okay, obviously Lenny's gone this round, but we need to start thinking about going for Isaac or Big Dog, all right? Which is, arguably the plan that you've been suggesting for a while, but everyone's like, we need Lenny gone.
I don't know why they need Lenny gone. This is what's frustrated me because I I'm just begging for someone to come to our side, or they pitched that idea to me. I'm going, yeah, I'll vote them out. Absolutely. Take me a few rounds further. I'll do whatever you fucking want. But you know, I'm just that much of a threat. Can't be left alive.
So what do we think of Lucy's plan then? So Lucy's plan is that you go this round, and then next round they're going to take out Big Dog or Isaac, whoever doesn't win immunity out of the two of them.
Yeah,
But they're not really sure. 'Cause she's just like, I'd rather go for Big Dog, and then she's just like, but Isaac does have that advantage in Final Four, and maybe if they think about it a bit more, maybe they're just like, maybe Isaac's the bigger challenge threat, blah blah blah. So they're going to go for one of them. But at Final Six, that plan is now contingent on Divya joining them. Is
yeah.
this just great gameplay
Take
from Divya?
take them out with a 3-3 tie. That's how it's done.
But I mean,
Why take them out with a 4-3 majority when you can take them out with a 3-3 tie at the end of the day? Divya's absolutely got everyone in the palm of her hand. She basically just choose what happens.
yeah, I mean, later on, she sees, like, we see her having a chat with Lucy and Sock, and then she's just like, oh, yeah, I'm definitely with you guys. Like, next round, sure, yeah, we'll go for Big Dog or Isaac. Like, what do we, where do we actually think Divya's head is at this point?
Well, I don't know. I mean, she voted for herself, Mike. Clearly, she's thinking everything through. She knows what she's doing, but at the same time, she voted for herself. So I don't know what to make of that.
Because this is, I don't know if this is a masterclass or a disaster class from Divya. Like, I don't know what's good, because I'm pretty sure, like, I've watched back her confessionals, and I think she said different things. I think in one she was just like, I'm trying to work with Lucy and Sock, but then the next one she's saying that she's working with Isaac and Big Dog. But I think the main thing that I got from Divya this round is that at the end we have a confessional. I don't know if it made it into the episode because it might have made it. Well, no, it wouldn't have made it obvious where she was voting. She votes herself, but she says like either way in the next round, I want to keep Lucy. Well, in terms of the players she thinks she's got on her side, she says she's got you, she's got um, Lucy, and she's got Big Dog. So as far as she's concerned, she's very well insulated regardless. So I don't think it matters too much to her who she keeps in the game. So I think she just wants to keep riding the middle. So that means that she just wants to keep all those different allies in the game.
But why vote yourself? What does that achieve?
Yeah, I guess so. That whole confessional. So Divya was just like, I'm going to vote for myself because then it shows Sock and Lucy that there is discord in our alliance.
Right.
And I don't know whether that was because she wanted to show Sock and Lucy that she was planning on working with them in future rounds, or whether it was as a bluff to make them think that she was working with them in future rounds. And maybe we'll get a better idea later on in the season of where she was
Yeah.
planning on going. But I think that was her reasoning. Basically, she thought no one was voting for her and she thought she was very safe. Everyone thought you were leaving and there would be no issue, which is why everyone was so comfortable throwing their votes anywhere.
It's great. It's uh it's not too far off the first episode of season one, really. Everyone feels so safe to do whatever they want with their vote.
I don't think I've ever seen a 2-2-1-1-1 vote at Final Seven ever. And like I don't even think like it's nothing to do with like a lack of skillful gameplay or anything. Like I genuinely think everyone had good reasons. Divya's may have been a bit more misguided in voting for herself. That one was a bit rogue. But
Yeah.
like I totally see everyone's strategies in this.
Yeah. No, I absolutely stand by what I did.
Yeah,
Um,
so why don't you talk everyone through it? Because so people might be looking at this thinking, why didn't Lenny and Holly vote together? So why don't you talk about that a little bit?
So I was, I, I don't know why I was so certain that Divya had an idol, but I just believed what Sock told me. So I'm like, Divya's got an idol. If they see Holly play an idol, they'll then play an idol for Chris, because obviously we'd be voting off Chris. And at which point, then, it's a nil-nil tie, but that means we'll have to vote amongst ourselves for someone else to go off, at which point they're going to vote Holly off, realistically. Um, which I didn't want to happen, especially after, she's just saved my life. So I was like, oh, if they play the idol for Big Dog, then Isaac goes out, and it's fine. Because I'm going to be honest, I didn't think Chris would do something so smart. Um, I didn't think he had that kind of strategic gameplay in him. So fair play. Just poor Lucy caught in the crossfire.
Yeah, so what do we think of Big Dog in this round? So it seems like it's unclear as to whether it's just because you had such a long strategic chat with Holly, but it seems to be because you came away from that and apparently gave such a piss poor acting performance that that was what made Big Dog think, all right, let's throw a couple of votes at Lucy here.
I can't even remember what I said when I came out of that. Um,
I
I
think
feel like in the episode, my acting performance looked okay.
I think I cut it out of the episode because I imagine it will be in the start of the next one because I didn't want to like obviously show you and Holly like making a deal
Oh right, did I
just to
do a
make
knee
it.
slide in the garden? Surely not.
So what happens is, so we'll see it at the start of the next episode. I imagine I haven't edited it yet, but it'll be in there. So you and Holly shake hands, which is always
Oh yeah, I
always a
remember
bit of a risk in Survivor when everyone can see you. But so you shake hands, and then you go, "Do you know what, Holly? It's been great playing with you. You know, I'm just mull it over, yeah." And then you walk off looking sad.
that. The thing is, I was shaking hands with everyone that episode, so maybe I thought I could get away with it because I probably had. I reckon I shook the hand of everyone in the remaining tribe. To be honest, um, just as a farewell. But yeah, I mean, we were talking. I was talking to Holly for a long time,
Mm.
a suspiciously long time.
But then even after that, like if I'd have just played this fully chronologically without like editing it in any way out of order, which I only did with one scene just to make it a bit less obvious that Big Dog and Isaac were voting for Lucy, um, it would still be really unclear as to whether Holly's playing her idol for you because you have that conversation and then in her confessional she's still like, I think it's Lenny's time to go. And then we go to tribal. So like going into that, as far as
Yeah,
I was concerned, there's no
I
way
think
Holly's.
after she gave a confessional, I looked her in the eyes as she was coming back, and she gave me a little nod, and I was like, "Oh, come on!" But you don't want to get too excited, so I sat in tribal, pretended like I was still going out, but I just slagging everyone else off in the that's left. Um, one of my favorite things to do, as it turns out.
Let's see what else we got going on in the strategy portion. So we have you have the same conversation that you with Holly with Divya. Divya obviously doesn't have an idol. Do you think that has any impact at all? Do you think maybe that's what convinced her to vote for herself?
Yeah, I was hoping the reason was that she felt too strongly about our connection in the game to vote for me, so had to take the vote off, just like I did with Oscar earlier in the game. Just felt too, you know, he's too close to my heart to vote out.
Yeah.
Um,
She so badly did not want to vote for you that she voted herself rather than going
yeah,
for anyone else.
it's a very honourable thing to do. But Liam Lewis there could have voted for him.
Okay. Oh, well, what do we think of this? So we see Lucy going up to Big Dog and trying to make future plans with him. And then obviously by this point we know, okay, it looks like Lucy's probably going to be going for Big Dog after this anyway. But Big Dog gives her basically nothing here. Is this a big
Yeah,
mistake for a Big Dog?
I don't know. I feel like he must know that they're going to be against him after this round. Like he must know. Like, so I wouldn't be giving them anything because you don't want to like if they do have an idol, you don't want to like make it clear who your next target would be.
Mm.
So
Yeah, that's true. It did seem like based off his chat with Divya that he was under the impression that it would be a 3v3 against them the next round anyway.
yeah, it still is.
It still is, but with a completely different configuration of players. Well, actually, they were saying, what if we vote off Lucy here? And then they're just like, well, no, because then Lenny's in the game, and you know,
I strike fear into the hearts and minds of my opposition.
yeah, there you go. I've written down a lot of quotes that were said in this episode. Isaac says, "Let me go talk to Lenny, make him feel better." What did you think of Isaac this round?
Isaac is just like just so funny, and I would love to see him more with just like an absolute bone to pick with someone. Like he was just I was just absolutely fuming with me, and I'm watching it. I'm like, yeah, I can't actually disagree with anything he says. Like it's all completely right. I was in hysterics watching that. It was great.
One of my favorite moments, and it almost made the episode title. If there weren't so many great moments at Tribal, which we'll get to, but as I think it's a conversation between Big Dog, Holly, and Sock, and we pan away as Big Dog's just like, "Let me go give Lenny a hug." So we pan away to follow him, and just in the background, you can hear Holly saying to Sock, "Oh, I feel bad about voting out my former president," and then Sock says, "Yeah, well, he's been a coy bitch."
Fair play. Can't argue with
Oh,
that.
so that's a little Easter egg for anyone that wants to watch that back, because you can just catch him saying it as it's like panning away.
Yeah, again, can't disagree.
We see another conversation between Big Dog, Isaac, and Lucy, where Isaac's just like, "All right, well, who should we go for next? Maybe we go for Sock because yeah, is Sock the only blue left? Oh no, there's Sock and Holly are the only blues left. Yeah, like let's just finish this game with all reds." And then Lucy's just like, "Yeah, I mean, we're voting out Lenny, and Lenny's a red." And then there's just a pause, and then all three of them go, "Well, he's barely a red."
I'm more fucking red than you, Lucy.
I don't know. At this point, are you?
I'm red till I die, but we're not in the tribe portion of the game anymore.
Well, I mean, as Isaac said, he's wearing his fucking Solent kit. I'm not having
Look, I'm red till I die. I was just trying to form the new Red Alliance with former Reds, Lucy and Will Jeffrey. Fuck the tribes, you know. But I am a Red. I want to be that clear.
it. Right, okay. Quotes from Isaac this episode: "He's too unworthy of trust at this point, and he does not deserve anyone's trust at this point."
Yeah. No, again. I think I've shown that. At the same time, when I'm in an alliance with you, until I change, I'm actually very trustworthy, and I'll give you all the facts until I don't want to anymore.
So tell me how do you think does it go down if you just stick with that group of Isaac, Big Dog, and Divya then? So it was at the will vote that you sort of decide to flip. So what happens
Yeah,
there? So I think we thought Sock leaves at 9.
yeah. Sock goes, Strath goes, and then I think probably like Will goes. So I think they would have wanted Strath out because he was such a uh, the best competitor, I believe he called himself,
Hmm.
maybe 400 times. And yeah, Sock, I feel like his days were numbered at that point if I
Hmm.
stick. And then yeah, Will probably goes. I don't know. I feel like I'd probably go out at like 6 or 7, just because they fear me. And
How
what
do
I
you think
can
your
do.
elimination goes down? Who do you reckon's the one that brings it up?
Oh, probably Big Dog, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. Maybe I don't. Maybe Isaac. To be fair.
I don't know. Will was throwing out your name a lot for a while.
Yeah, but Will's gonna go. No one's listening to Will.
So what do we think of Holly? Because at this point, when you're pitching her, she says, as long as Big Dog's in the game, I'm not the target. When you're trying to convince her to vote out Big Dog, and obviously she does take the shot in the end. But what do you think of this theory of hers? Like, sure, as long as
Uh,
Big Dog's there, you won't get voted out. But like, there's Big Dog and too many other people. in front of you that you would also need to get rid of?
I I was sort of in agreement with Holly on that. I will say when I went up to Holly, I went to Divya first because I thought there was a chance. I went to Holly second. I'm going to be honest. I thought it was impossible. I'd literally just voted for her in the previous rounds. Um, she'd run straight to Big Dog when I tried to, you know, pitch ideas to her. I thought there's no fucking way here, but what have I got to lose? So let's give it a go. And yeah, she obviously put up some good points, but I countered with anything I could think of, basically.
Mm. Are we worried for Holly now? Because, as Isaac said, if she plays the idol, I'd rather get rid of her than Lenny at that point. And I really want to get rid of Lenny.
Final five, come on. That's
If,
what it's
if
all
everyone's
about.
gunning for Holly next episode, are you intending to fully like back her, or are you just going to jump on the bandwagon and be like, "Yeah, Holly's done for"?
No, I'd be putting a hard pitch for Holly to stay in the game. Um, I'm not a loyal man, but after what Holly's done for me here, I'll throw myself in front of a bus for that girl.
Hmm.
Absolutely. What a wonderful, what a wonderful thing to do. And yeah, at this point, after she's done this, I'm like, if I'm not winning, it better fucking be Holly. So
But, well, I mean, surely this is great for you though, because everyone's been saying for so long how much of a big threat you are, and they've also been saying like, yeah, Big Dog's a threat because he's running the alliance, and maybe Isaac's threat because he's good at challenges and stuff. But now suddenly you've got another like strategic threat that you can put up there with you, and maybe people will be like, let's go for Holly, maybe before Lenny.
yeah, look, obviously I'm fine for Holly, but if she did go out before me, what can you do? If I can't stop it, what can you do? But the good thing is at this point there's quite a lot of threats, and I feel like if I can maybe survive another round, then it's looking like there's so many threats. Am I even the biggest one?
I can think of reasons why Sock less so, but I can think of strong reasons why everyone left in the game is a big threat.
Yeah, exactly.
In fact, no, I can think of reason why everyone. Okay, Isaac challenges Big Dog. He's been in control of the alliance. You because you betrayed everyone, but now you've somehow still in. Holly because she saved you. Divya because she's so socially integrated with everyone that's still in the game, and Sock because despite what he says, he's got a lot of friends on that jury who might want to vote for him.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Do you know what? I think I'm most popular with the jury at this point in time in the game.
I would say based off that tribal council reactions, I think yeah, you're a popular man.
I enjoyed playing up to them every tribal council for the last 3 rounds. Really good fun.
Lenny, there have been some allegations against you.
Oh yeah.
Isaac said the working week with the clock photos, it's the same shit.
I didn't do anything with I barely took part. Like when I think, yeah, there's the cutlery one. Yeah, okay, fine. I played the game better than everyone else, and me and Noel won. Great. The clock one, I was thrown up for the first day. Didn't take
Yeah, I was
part.
going to say it came up in the last podcast. I'm pretty sure like you were definitely out for that one.
Yeah, sure. I came back and I got a Nathan Dugas. I got TG Robbo's sister, and I got Teresa's grandma. But
How did you acquire Nathan Duga? Because maybe that cuts deep for Isaac.
I don't know. I basically would just message people, being like, have you got anyone's like family members? I'll trade you a picture of myself." And then once you get a few family members, you just start trading them around.
So
Um,
last year, Lenny, the working week one was ball picks. I can't remember the exact name, but it was people holding a ball.
oh
And
yeah, I sent a couple off, I think.
okay, yeah, glad to hear it. I used a different strategy last year for that one because like I was writing the thesis, I wasn't really that involved. So normally I
Yeah,
try and send as few pictures of me as possible out there just to try and make myself more valuable. And usually there's various rules that like, form a committee or like, working week committee or something are worth more. So usually mine one typically is worth a bit more. But this year, or last time rather, I sent as many different pictures of me as possible to each person that asked. It's just quite exciting then to see like which pictures get passed around.
Oh, who has which mic price?
Yeah,
Uh, I'll have a look. I'll see if I've got a mic
yeah.
price.
See if you've got one.
If I do, it's one of. I have three.
What?
I've
All of
got
me?
no. I've got three in total. I've got you. I've got Holly Sheridan, and I've got it's a very cold photo of me and Max Boline. Unbelievably cool, the two of us. We were out playing mini golf when I got someone asked me for one, and it was the perfect opportunity.
So this year's Working Week Ball Picks Challenge, okay? Bear in mind, I've basically got pictures of no one. I think I've got a picture of Big Dog, but I get to campus, I see Lucy. I've got a ball in my hand, so I'm trying to get a picture of like my hand with her there. She keeps running out the way, so that's off the table, okay? Then we see that Divya is in the nearby electrical engineering building, and Big Dog wants to get a picture of her with a ball, okay? So he goes over to her, and me and Lucy are following him, okay? So, but then Divvy is like blocked behind some kind of like you have to like scan your ID and go through.
Oh
So
right, yeah.
the rule says you have to get it with them with the ball in their hand. Lucy's trying to convince Divya to like come across to our side so that she could do it. At which point she's just like, no, Divya, like, what are you doing? Divya's just like, no, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Big was just like, will you do it for me? And she's like, maybe for you, but I'm not going anywhere near Lucy and Mike. At which point I was a bit offended. Like I wasn't really taking part too much, but you know, when once she said that we couldn't have it, I kind of wanted it. So at which point Lucy then gets her ball out of her bag. It's just like, look, Divya, will you do it? And then I just turn around, exactly what I was looking for, and just get a picture of Lucy with the ball in her hand,
Oh, fantastic.
which was my plan all along. Let me see if I can dig that out because that was, even though I didn't really take part in that one, that was a personal highlight. Here we go. That's in the engineering building. Lucy trying to talk to Divya. Ball in her hand. What a sucker. There you go. There's one of Sock.
Oh, you'd argue that's actually not in his hands.
Yeah, I don't know whether Big Dog would have allowed it. There was also a fake picture of Lucy's sister with a ball that was going around last year.
A fake picture.
Like, I also
These,
tried to hack it because in Southampton season one, obviously there's a basketball challenge. So I just
yeah,
screenshotted a lot of those, but Big Dog said it wasn't allowed.
absolutely. I wasn't allowed with cutlery back in my day.
Yes, so obviously we get about halfway through previous episode, then Will Jeffrey comes on, we chat to him, and then that goes on quite late. So obviously we end up not finishing recording this. Therefore, this
We're
podcast might
back.
sound a bit the tone might be a bit inconsistent from earlier on because we may be repeating stuff, but I guess that's my problem in the editing bay.
Yeah. If you think Mike's done a bad job, make sure to leave a comment below telling him what you can do to improve. Um,
So if it looks like Lenny was really smug throughout like the first half of this, and then for the second half he's suddenly not that smug anymore, then that's the
yeah,
reason
I
why we've
might
had
have got
two
it all,
days.
got it out of my system.
Yeah, just try and take yourself back into that moment.
Oh, I can quite easily get back to that, I
Okay.
think.
So Lenny, I think actually we ended up at quite a good stopping point just incidentally. I think we are just about to go into tribal, and normally we don't really spend too much time on this, but I feel like this was a particularly
Oh,
interesting tribal council, Lenny.
a great one.
Before we get too deep into it, I would like to now I go pretty hard on Sock and Lucy in particular here, and also Holly. And I will apologise. I'll put my hands up and say that. So from my perspective at the time, okay, so I hadn't done any filming this round. So the last interaction I'd had with Sock and with Lucy was the round previously, where I'd been filming them upstairs in my room, and they were saying, "Oh, okay, well, there's this group with Strath and Lenny we can go with, or we can go with Big Dog, Isaac, and Divya." So I was just like, oh, which one do you think will get you furthest in the game? Blah blah blah. And they were like, oh, well, I think probably go with Isaac, Big Dog, and Divya. But then they seemed a bit on the fence at the time. So as far as I was aware, they just kind of decided we're just going to stick with Isaac, Big Dog, and Divya. At which point I was just like, well, this like just from a strategy point of view. This is ridiculous. Like, why would you not take a shot at them? Which is obviously what I voiced at Tribal Council. Like, after this vote, it's a 3v3. I'm not
Yeah,
filming any of their confessionals, so I don't know that they've got obviously this plan with the idol they think they've got Holly, they think they've got Divya for the next round. So I am not aware of this at the time. And the only person I've actually spoken to this round is you, Lenny, where you're
Yeah,
saying like they're all going to vote me out. I've maybe got Holly to play an idol on me. I'm not sure. It's a bit of a gamble. So I go into tribal council like this is so stupid. Like I don't understand why they're just making this blatantly terrible game move, which I wouldn't say is me like doing any like coaching or anything because like this is what everyone was looking at it thinking. So I felt as if I
yeah,
was speaking for the jury, which is really the host role in a way.
yeah. I feel like that's what the jury was thinking as well. To be fair, um, they were very much of the opinion. I heard it a few times throughout the round from people I spoke to in the jury. I know that's not technically allowed, but basically just well, I was getting a lot of condolences at the time, and people people were just like, man, it's just stupid, isn't it?
So yeah, so Sock and Lucy obviously voiced their frustrations in their voting confessionals. I thought Sock's one was particularly good, was just like,
What did he
I think
say?
people should leave us alone or something like that, essentially. And Lucy was
Yeah,
just like, oh, I know it looks like we're not playing the game, but we do have something going on. So I want to give
yeah.
you
Well,
guys credit now.
how
You
did that
did
how
have
did that
something
work
going on.
out for you, Lucy?
But yeah, I do want to say now that they clearly did have something going on, and it was part
Yeah,
of their game plan to do that. But it just meant that they had to go through a tribal council of me really going after them there.
but at the same time, I still think it's a better option to just team up with me. I know I'm probably a bit biased, but
Should we talk it through then? So if so what are you saying? So they team up with
like,
you. So it's you,
yeah,
Sock, Lucy.
and well, I guess yeah, we wouldn't have Holly on side. That's true. If they can get Holly as well, which it sounds like they probably could have.
I mean, I guess you're only if they were to truly team up with you, then you'd try and get them to play their idol on you, but you wouldn't have known they'd had it.
No, I mean like surely the better option for Holly, Sock, Lucy is to just go side with me 4-3, vote one of them out.
I mean,
Then
well, I mean that's what we were saying the whole round. Like that's
yeah, that's still a better option than going to their 3v3 and trying to get Divya, I feel.
I mean, yeah, I mean that's exactly what I thought at the time. Um, I mean, Sock and Lucy were planning to use the idol,
But
but
there's no guarantee that that works.
especially based off coming out of that tribal, if Divya had like voted in that weird way, they might have then genuinely thought they had her, regardless of whether or not they did. So they probably wouldn't have played the idol the next round anyway. Yeah, I think there's still a good chance one of them goes the next round and that ends up not working out. But yeah, I do apologise to Lucy and Sock for going particularly
Yeah,
hard on
you were a
them
real dickhead.
and Holly to some extent. Well, that's the thing. Like, I remember thinking back on it, like how much everyone was complaining. But then when I edited it all together, because I could put their confessionals in, it seemed to like they seemed fairly chill. So then the only person being an absolute dick to them seems to be me at Tribal Council. I just really go after them.
Yeah, I was loving it at the time, I will say. I was really enjoying it. I will say, if I went out at this round and Holly hadn't played her idol for me, I would have been absolutely willing Divya, Isaac, or Chris to win the game. Absolutely. Would have voted for them no matter what at the end. And I would have really slagged off one of the other three if they were there at the final tribal to try and swing the votes. Would have done everything in my power.
But surely the whole thing is that if one of them makes it, the Lucy, Sock, and Holly, if one of them makes it to the end, then that fully vindicates what they did to you in that vote, though. So you don't get the opportunity because your whole point is I'm not going to vote for you guys at Tribal Council because you played shit, but also because you're not going to make it to the end anyway.
No, but if they did with an idol, I would have just said they got lucky. 100%. The logic doesn't need to come into it. I would have just been a prick and tried to make them lose, I think.
Assuming that you're right, they go out, bam, 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 and then at final tribal council, you can just stand up and be, it doesn't matter what questions you ask whoever's sat at the end, but you can just really go to town
Just,
about how shit Lucy, Sock, and Holly played the game in
yeah.
that. Yeah.
That I'll give you that would have been even more fun for me than staying in.
So was everything I was saying essentially your lookout on the game as well at the time?
Yeah. Seeing it back, clearly Lucy and Sock did have plans, but at the time I was thinking, these two are fucking idiots. What are they doing? Like they're just gonna go, and you know what? My bad. Hold my hands up. At the same time, still think they were making the wrong move. So even watching it back, but yeah, I was just looking forward to when you come to me because I was definitely going to not hold back, um, play up to the crowd.
I almost
Love it.
forgot about you as well. I was so pissed off. I almost just went
Yeah,
straight to the
I
vote.
was waiting the whole tribal.
I think I just assumed that I'd asked you something early on.
You gave me time to think about everything I was going to say. So
So when Oscar came on, Lenny, he was referring to this incredible speech that he made. Do you feel as if this lived up to the hype?
I don't think it was that incredible, but I really enjoyed it. I
I thought it
thought,
was quite good. As far as Troll Cow's speeches go, this is definitely up there.
okay, oh, that's nice. Yeah, I was just happy with the reaction of the jury there. I think like Will, Oscar, Noel gave good reactions, as did Erin on the camera. So I was happy at the time. I feel like I had the support of the people in the crowd. So it's a nice place to be in, especially when you know that Holly's about to play her idol for you as well.
So how confident were you at this Trouble Council that you'd actually get the idol play for you? What percentage would you say you were
I
at?
wasn't that confident, and then before Tribal, when Holly gave me a little nod, I was like, "Yeah, it's happening. It is on." It was genuinely such a small like at me
Oh man,
in
Holly.
my eyes. I was like, "That's incredible. It's gonna happen. I can't believe it."
Oh yeah, what a beautiful moment. Should we talk a bit about Holly then? So obviously we see you putting in the work there, you're persuading her. How did you manage to do this, especially based off the fact that you just voted for her in the previous round?
I went. I think my angle was think about how cool this will be. Think about how people remember this. It's the play of the game. It's there to be taken.
Mm.
You know, everyone thinks I'm gone. You can be the one to save me. If you make it to the end, that is like game winning move right there. Everyone's going to vote for you. So yeah, I think that was my main angle of attack. Um, I think that was definitely the thing that seemed to convince Holly the most as well. So
Yeah, I mean realistically, what would Holly have done with that idol anyway? Like she'd have two more rounds to play it, and based off what we've seen, she probably wouldn't have been a target until Final Four anyway.
yeah, so she would have just played it at five, I guess, and maybe tried to play it on Lucy or Sock at five and do something cool there.
Do we think this was actually a good move for Holly?
I don't know.
It seemed like based off the episode, she was keen to go along with Sock and Lucy's plan for the next
Yeah,
episode. So it did look like she was going to turn her attention to Isaac and Big Dog. And obviously, she doesn't vote for Big Dog anyway. But I think it obviously banked on them having Divya in the next episode, which clearly
yeah.
Holly didn't think, or she just decided she would rather have an alliance potentially with you
The
than
thing
the
is,
rest of them.
if Lucy, if like they don't vote for Lucy and Chris or Isaac goes home, then it's such a good move, isn't it? Because there's no way that me, Lucy, Sock, and Holly wouldn't just vote out Divya or Isaac in the next round. I'd be pitching Final Four to those three. Absolutely.
Would you not at that point though think we need to split up Sock and Lucy? Would that have occurred to you in that round?
No, I'd just be thinking at that point would be very much, can I just get a bit further?
Yeah.
I mean, I think either way, it's me and Holly would just team up with either Divya and Isaac, or though, well, if it's Divya and Chris, I think there's more of a chance. If it's Isaac, that man's not trusting me again for that game. His face was gone. So I think we yeah try and team with Lucy and Sock. Especially, I think it would especially have worked if I just hadn't split the votes and we both just voted for like Chris, because then they would have seen that they'd also voted for Lucy, and then they definitely would have teamed for me and Holly with me and Holly.
Let me share my screen here, Lenny. Okay, so these are the votes for the episode. Big Dog and Isaac voting together for Lucy. Divya voting for herself, which we'll definitely come back to that. Holly and yourself. No, well, Holly voting Big Dog, you vote Isaac, and then Lucy and Sock voting for you, and it doesn't count. Okay, so that's how it all went down. So a 2-2-1-1-1 at the final seven. Very exciting stuff. So I've got a couple of scenarios for you, Lenny. So we've got four scenarios here, and we'll see if we can figure out what would have happened in each of these scenarios to see who would have won the day. All right. So scenario number one, there's no idol play. Holly doesn't save you with the idol, and the vote just continues, which means it's a tie between yourself and Lucy. I think this is the most cut and dry one. Shall we just position where we think everyone would have voted
Wait,
on
what?
the revote?
Why is there a tie?
So Holly doesn't play the idol for you,
Yeah.
which means that there's a 2-2 tie between you and Lucy.
Who? What? Surely I'm getting more than two votes.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine that
Because I get I get
if
Holly,
Holly doesn't
Lucy.
play the idol for you, then you go home anyway.
Yeah, yeah. That one's
Because
cut and dry. I'm a goner.
all right, but I think you get voted out on the revote because I think everyone's going for you there.
Yeah,
But it seems unlikely that if Holly doesn't play the idol for you, that she also doesn't vote for you. So
yeah.
I
I think it
think
would
we
just be a 3-2. Yeah, 3-2. I'm gone straight away.
okay. So scenario two. So now they're all getting a bit more interesting here. So this is the scenario where you and Holly both vote for Isaac, or because obviously Divya's plan was to try and stir up some to try and make Sock and Lucy think that she's on her side by voting for someone within the three. She picks herself, but in this situation, maybe she picks Isaac, or maybe you and Holly vote together for Isaac. So there's a tie between Lucy and Isaac in this vote, because obviously you've had the idol played on you. So we've got the five players there. Who do you think each person votes for? So obviously Lucy
Well,
and Isaac aren't voting on the revote. So where's
well,
Sock going?
Sock's definitely going for Isaac,
Yep.
and I'm telling Holly to vote for Isaac. And I think me and Holly both just vote Isaac, and it's 3-2.
All right. That's enough to send out Isaac there.
And I think that'd be
Okay.
this. I think that'd be the exact same with Big Dog as well,
Yep.
because like Lucy and Sock are going to see that they voted for him. So there's no way Sock would vote out Lucy.
All right. So now a big
And there's
one,
no
Lenny. This is the one where you, instead of deciding to vote for Isaac, you put your vote on Divya, and Divya's vote is also for Divya, so it ties it. So does Divya get voted out by herself in this episode? I think we can assume Sock votes for Divya on the revote.
I think I vote out Divya. Absolutely.
I think we assume Big Dog and Isaac stay there.
Yeah, I think
Do you
whatever
think
happens,
do you think Holly does that?
I think so. In for a penny, in for a pound from Holly, I think.
So there you go. That's how close Divya was to voting herself out. So why? I mean, I guess the real question is why did you end up voting for Isaac there and not for Divya? Because in your confessional, you're saying I'll vote for one of the three of them. Probably, probably Divya is what you say in your confessional.
Well, I thought there's more of a chance that Divya would work with me later in the game. I think, bridges are burnt with Isaac, I'll say. There's no way that guy, he wasn't happy with what I'd done.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I'd rather see him go because he wouldn't even entertain a thought coming from me for the rest of the game.
So in that case, is this great social play from Divya outweighing a terrible strategic blunder from her this round?
Yeah, yeah, no, it's definitely saved her.
Hmm.
Um, the fact she'd actually, at least pretend to listen to what I'm saying, it's made the world a difference. It would have been very funny if she'd voted herself out, though.
Yeah, let's discuss this. So Divya puts her own name down, which I will say just straight up isn't allowed. I guess that's on me for not making it obvious that you can't vote for yourself.
To be fair, like, why should it be banned? Why ban it?
I mean, to be honest, I'd be inclined to agree with you because I think it's quite an interesting strategy. But obviously, you can then get a situation where everyone votes for themselves, and then it doesn't work. And then you can get situations where like no one gets any votes at all if like an idol gets played.
Yeah, but then you just figure out what to do. Just do a revote. I'd say just throw it out. If everyone votes themselves, revote. If everyone votes for one person and there's an idol, also, what the fuck is happening there? Where everyone's voted for the person who's got a unanimous vote is just voting for themselves as well.
I'm sure. I mean, in early Survivor, there was a rule that if there was a tiebreaker, then whoever had votes cast for them whoever had past votes against them would be the one that would be eliminated on a tie, which did happen in like season three
Wait, what do you mean?
and season two. So if, for example, you and I both get 4 votes at one tribal council and it's a tie, then whoever out of the two of us has had the most votes at previous tribal councils is
Oh,
eliminated.
past votes. I thought you meant like past as in like been given, which is why I was confused.
Right. But
I
yeah,
just
so
got the
that was the
wrong
kind of
cast.
bullshitty way they settled tiebreakers in
Yeah. Can Lucy play her idol or if there's a revote?
no.
So you can't. So once it's okay, interesting. Yeah, just good rules, knowledge, and use there. Because yeah, seeing from the plan, she probably does have a decent run at the title.
Yeah, I know.
Like she's probably the most unlucky person in the game.
Does Sock
In
win the
case
game or does Lucy win the game?
Slot takes Lucy to the end, 100%.
Yeah, yeah, obviously.
I, I mean, it would be box office TV if Slot didn't take Lucy to the end. I think that would be the game would peak at that point. I think um, that's essentially as good as it can get. I'm just going to go to the toilet, by the way.
Okay.
So maybe don't monologue to the audience this time. I don't think they want that.
No, no, I think that's exactly what they do on. I should have written some questions for myself. Well, if you want, I can take you through my process while we're waiting for Lenny. So, essentially, what you have to break the episode down into the immunity challenge, you have the strategy section, you have tribal council, and then you have the vote. So, each of those 4 elements are the things that have to be edited. And then after that, you kind of have to tie them all together. And then if there's any like extra crap that happens beforehand, like when people are like looking for idols or something at the start of the episode, or if there's any like strategic conversations like we saw in this episode and the previous episode. So you kind of have to tie all of those in together, and then you have to build a cohesive story through the strategy section, which is actually easier than I expected it to be, because I thought it would be like chopping and putting around a lot of strategic conversations into different places to make the story make more cohesive sense, or to sort of build a narrative. However, because obviously it's happening in a chronological order anyway, the strategy kind of develops over time. So as someone's name is suggested at the start of the strategy section, it kind of then sort of percolates through all of the different conversations. So the strategy ends up being a bit easier to edit than you might think. Anyway, back to us. Where we are, we're talking about Lucy's chances. And anything more to say on
Lucy had a real shot at the crown
yeah,
if she
essentially.
didn't go. If she, yeah, I mean, she got incredibly unlucky here. No shame in getting idled out of the game.
I mean, like if you're looking at Lucy though, from final six onwards, she's got Sock, who from his reaction to when she got voted out, like he's not gonna say her name at any point. She's got
Yeah,
Divya, who I mean has been a really tight ally, but it's very unclear as to whether she wants Lucy in the game anymore. So
yeah.
that's unclear. She's also sort of in with Isaac, sort of in with Big Dog. Who's the other player? I think the only person she's not
Holly.
super in with is Holly, but they sort of made an alliance in the last episode.
Yeah,
So
I don't think Holly's voting for Lucy at any point. I think it all depends on what Divya does in the next round,
hmm.
really.
A couple of things I wanted to chat at Tribal Council, Lenny, before we discuss any more players. What do we think of Big Dog's answer of who he'd vote for when he was on the jury? He said he looked to vote for who he was related to.
Oh yeah, great stuff. That's what he did. That's I was up there in the room with him casting his vote,
Yeah,
and we were all like, "Yeah, Noel's played great. Noel played great." Big Dog gets on camera. I'm voting for Beth because she's my cousin, and I might see some of the money. It's genius,
a great moment as well with Beth filming off to the right, also within the camera shot. I'm
right?
gonna say a word, and then like the first player that comes into your head, okay? And
Okay,
I'll all right, I'll let you also say yourself, but you can't say yourself for all of them, okay? Control,
Big Dog,
power,
Big Dog as well.
thought,
Uh, I can't keep saying Big Dog. That's my problem, but I think he's putting loads of thought into it. Me?
audacity.
Yeah, no, take back the thought one. I'm definitely Audacity.
Yeah, actually, okay. I'm gonna say of the final six, because there's
Right.
6 words that get thrown out here. So Your words are,
Oh, is this Sock's answer?
yeah.
That's so funny. So funny.
Okay, your words are, and you might have to write these down. You've got control, power, thought, audacity, bravery, and strength. Which of the final six embodies which of these words?
Right. Well, Isaac's strength,
Yep.
Holly's bravery.
Oh yeah.
Uh, I'll give thought to Lucy.
Mm.
Control to Big Dog.
Are you taking audacity? Well, then that leaves
Yeah.
Sock with power. Surely Lucy has power because of the idol, or Holly. One of them can have power.
Okay. That I can't give thought to Sock at the end of the day.
All right, does Sock get bravery then?
Well, I think Holly's being the most brave.
Sock
What
did
have I
win
give?
immunity, and it was a bit of a thinking challenge.
What did I give to Divya?
Oh well, you gave Lucy one of them, and she's not in the final six, so
Oh, right.
you
Well,
give Divya thought.
yeah. Divya thought. What does that leave Sock?
Wait, who did
Oh,
you
it
give
still
power
leaves Sock.
to?
Sock's a powerful man. Um, no one else really has any power apart from Big Dog.
Yeah, control and power are pretty interchangeable.
Yeah. What an answer, though. That is so funny.
This is my favorite tribal characters to watch. Even though I go quite hard on Sock and Lucy, and I do still feel a bit bad about that. Just those two answers back to back from Big Dog and Sock, just incredible.
Couldn't ask for more.
Like Sock, he's on the back foot. The jury are just like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "What are you doing?" You're asking all the questions of him, and then he pulls an answer like that out the bag.
Well, no one else has that in their locker at the end of the day. Only Sock could say something that funny, I think.
Oh, speaking of quotes, did we discuss in the last episode when Divya's confessional this episode? I can't remember if I brought it up. She says, Lenny's hanging on by a thread. Next out is the couple. You should have formed a relationship after this game.
Yeah, that's great. That's couldn't be more perfect than that.
An absolutely elite confessional. I think that's
Uh,
that's got to be up there with Divya's best.
mm.
Uh, yeah, everyone was absolutely bringing it this episode. What do you think of Lucy's quote? This is the last note I've got from Tribal Council. She says of Isaac and Big Dog, they've both got knives out. They're just waiting for the other one to turn.
Isaac's not turning though.
What would it take, do you think, in this game for Isaac to vote out Big Dog? Would it
No,
take getting to final three and
no,
winning the challenge?
he'd literally rather go out, I think. He's Oscar.
Oh no.
Big Dog messaged me in the week. He was talking about playing darts with Isaac, and I said Isaac seems like he'd be really good at everything. And Chris said, "Yeah, apart from Survivor, I don't think he had a single thought of his own in the entire game."
There was the one round where they go to vote at will and they have the idea. I'd say Isaac has the same idea as Big Dog, but like 2 seconds after. So he was close.
Yeah, but he's played the Oscar role, and you know what? There's no shame in that.
I mean, it's working for him. Like I think is Isaac now in the best spot to win here?
Yeah, I mean he's in a very good spot. It just depends on Divya though, doesn't it?
I would argue Isaac's probably in the best position to win just based off challenges. Because I mean, despite how incredible this episode was, like the plan ultimately failed. Like it's going to be a 3v3 at best in the next episode,
Yeah.
clearly. So I honestly I'm struggling to see a way at this point, Mike Price observing the game, having just enough Lucy's torch. I am struggling to see a way that Isaac is eliminated in this game.
But you're forgetting the audacity and bravery on the other three, and and the power as well. So
I can honestly see Isaac just winning out. Like he's got the advantage at final four.
they're definitely voting out Chris at final three if it's the three of them. Maybe Isaac wouldn't. I don't know.
Because I mean, Big Dog says that he'll take Divya to the end, and I guess I believe that, but I don't see Big Dog beating Isaac in that final challenge. I see Isaac winning it.
Yeah, so I see Isaac just winning.
So yeah, I think Isaac's in a great position. I mean, the real winner of this episode, I think Big Dog with that absolutely incredible move,
Yeah,
outfoxing everyone there.
genius. I didn't think he had it in him.
Mm. Big loser of this episode being Sock. He loses his best ally. The idol leaves with her. Is there any way here that is there anything that Sock can do from this point to win? Because it's not looking great. Who's he trying to get in with at this point? Because surely, like Isaac and Big Dog and Divya are always going to be a great group to stay with. Because
Yeah.
then he's sort of guaranteed top four if they go for you and Holly next. But does he have a winnable route?
I feel like everyone left probably has a way they could win.
Isaac, Big Dog, or Divya, if one of them's at the end, then they win. So Sokna has to clear all of those three. It seems like you've got a lot of winner equity based off the jury's reactions, and Holly's now just saved you with an idol. Is there anyone that Sok can sit next to? I guess if Sok has an absolute blinder and
Yeah,
like
he has to
yeah,
put in a top performance, and you know, if you make it to the end, you've got a chance. But I mean, yeah, it's not looking good, obviously.
a few good immunity wins and some good strategy, I think there's a lot of players that Sok needs to clear to
Yeah,
have any shot here. Yeah, I just mentioned as Lucy leaves, you can see Sok just being absolutely devastated, just realizing that any chance of him winning is leaving
yeah.
the
I
game with
mean,
Lucy.
I was there a few rounds before. It is brutal. It really is.
It's just him just kind of staring blankly, like people are offering him hands to shake. He's just like,
Yeah.
you hate to see it. You better believe that on the previously on, I'll be slowly zooming in on Sok's face as that is all happening. As
Whereas,
a transition shot, we have me tearing my hamstring. If
oh yeah, that was good.
yeah,
One of my favourite moments of Skunks the time I was there.
yeah, not mine,
Um,
not mine.
did you see how happy I was though after that tribal? The smile on my face, just happy to be there. Didn't really care that it didn't work out perfectly. I was just so happy to be there. Love
Yeah,
the game.
you're taking all of the credit for that move when actually you had nothing to do with Lucy leaving, and it was actually terrible for your game as well. The fact that it's the Lucy the one that
Do you
leaves
know what
it.
would have been worse for my game, Mike? Me sat on the jury. So at the end of the day, you've got to be happy to be there. You've got, you've just got to love every moment.
Yeah, I think for you, a win in this episode was just surviving. Like
Exactly.
you were so done.
I'm still standing. I'm gonna win the. I'm gonna win the game. That's my prediction.
Yeah, if you want to say anything else about Lucy?
Yeah, I think she was good. Clearly had her head on. Had a good plan. Got very unlucky, and if that didn't happen, I think had a real good shot of winning.
I think throughout the game, Lucy was great character throughout. I
Yeah,
think, yeah, she came out very hot at the start. She had that incredible first Tribal Council where she saved all of the players on Ruba that were likely to be voted off, shaping a bit of the early game there, um, ruining the game really for Archie and for Faris at that one Tribal Council, I think. Then Slaw does her a solid by leaving, but so she makes it one further, and then can't get anything going with Will, and eliminated there. Comes back into the game, dominant in the redemption challenge. Well, not quite as dominant as Strath, but returning into the game, keeps the head down for a while, does the smart thing, and then yeah, I think she essentially had the. I wouldn't quite say had the game won, but was looking very good
yeah,
going into
looking
final
very
six.
very good.
If
And
yeah, if Big Dog and Isaac didn't throw a couple of hinky votes just to secure their positions
yeah,
and
like
happen to yeah.
you could argue apart from Big Dog, she probably played the best on Sunday.
Yeah, saving Sock with the safety without power as well, like
Yeah,
securing him as an ally, working quite well despite working against Sock at times where he was trying to out the fact that they're in an alliance.
yeah. And do you know what? I do feel bad for at the time thinking Lucy's just useless as well as Sock. But yeah, what can you do? What can you do?
Yeah, you hate to see someone underappreciated in their own time.
Yeah, you know, but but retroactively, is that the right word?
I mean,
Retrospectively.
it depends on what's coming next.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Um, yeah, played a good game. Watching it back has very much changed my opinion on it.
100%. I felt like she left the game with with all of the jury being like, "What were you doing?" kind of thing.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I'm glad that I was able to set some things straight, and
Do her
thankfully
justice.
she was so good at talking about it in her confessionals because otherwise we never would have
Yeah.
been privy to all of the game that she
Because
had. What do you think? Lucy played a better game than you have on the Sunday so far? I mean, admittedly,
yes.
you were in the power lines, flipped to be on the bottom, and then have
Yeah,
just
I think you can argue everyone's played a better game than me, apart from Strath, Ben Roberts. Even Noel and Oscar have done a better job than I have.
I think comparing your game to Billy's on the Sunday, I think even that's even tenuous. So who's done better there?
But it's all about results, Mike. I'm in the final six. I've equalled season one, and one more round, and I've improved.
If Sock isn't the one with immunity here, and Sock's the one that leaves, do you think Lucy would be a better player in the end game than Sock?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, you got to assume so. Like she's got that connection with Divya and
Yeah,
sort of with
yeah,
Holly. It seems like she's the one that was sort of brokering that anyway.
yeah, and yeah, I think so. I, but
Well, we'll see what Sock can do.
yeah, hopefully he's just in every episode because he is fantastic.
All right, Lenny, who has played the worst Sunday game between you and Sock? Because you're both in a similar position at this point.
Me?
Yeah, but Sock, I don't know, Sock voted out a lot of his people that could have been his allies. You've just tried to do that, which maybe is
Yeah.
worse.
No, I feel like had the stuff I'd done worked, genius.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But you know, maybe I should give myself a bit more credit
That's
for
true. Your
staying
moves were
in.
definitely more logical, and had I been in the game with you, I would have been right alongside you.
Yeah, yeah. Let's be honest. That you could never let both of us in the game at the same time. That'd be scary. No one want that.
Right, episode title. I mean, there've been so many, but obviously Sock's quote did take them all. But Isaac had a load of great quotes. Divya had a great quote. Sock, many other contenders as well, even from Sock. You had a
But
good
yeah,
speech.
you're
Holly,
not beating socks at the end of the day.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Nothing you can do.
yeah. Big Dog with a great comment as well. Lenny, I think that just takes us to fan corner actually,
It does.
where I've taken to the street once again for this very thrilling final seven episode.
It'd be great if the fans just hated it.
The fans just like, oh man. To be fair, I mean, there were a lot of people coming out for Lucy this season, so
That's true.
I could see that happening. Right, let's see what we've got this week. Divya giving it the old, yeah, someone tried to give me their number, but I would never cheat on you, don't worry.
What was that in relation to?
I'm assuming that's when she's threatening to oh, that must be when she's speaking to Big Dog at the start.
Oh, okay.
When she's like, yeah, yeah, we're really tight, right? Oh yeah, because that was when she's like, Lenny came to me and tried to get something going, but we're cool.
Okay.
Oh, you did have quite a lengthy idol search. I cut it out just because it was um it just made it
Yeah.
sort of took away some of the
I
flow.
also didn't find anything. Was there anything still hidden, or was it all found at that point?
There was nothing out there.
Okay, that's good to know.
Apparently, one of the fans out there is suggesting that £100 actually isn't a very big prize and that we should stop hyping it up. So fuck
hundred
you.
pounds is a massive prize. Who's the fad?
All of these big money ballers out there. I mean, clearly, Lenny, we have a lot of fans in a lot of different places. I'm sure there's many other fans that would be desperate for that £100.
Yeah, uh, £100 is a significant amount of money.
I would call out this particular fan by their username, but I don't want to.
You know who you are.
don't want to call out anyone. You
You
know
know
who
who
you
you
are.
are.
All right.
£100.
If you're the person that posted about that, then
Shame on you.
yeah, you need to take a long, hard look at yourself.
Yourself. You really do.
Yeah, people questioning why Divya didn't go for Sock and instead took lives off Big Dog and Isaac. Yeah, that is an interesting one because this is the hierarchy challenge. It's touchy subject. In Survivor Marquesas, season four, Lenny, this is when they first did this challenge. Okay. There were 9 players left in the game. This was back in the old school Survivor, Lenny. This is when every single season, well, the first season, that was the first concept of an alliance in any reality TV show, really, where four people get together and they just think, hang on, if we just don't vote for each other and we always vote the same, then
Oh,
we can win.
it's genius.
And they can't do anything. So that's what happened in season one. Seasons two and three, then it was just which tribe can get to the merge with the most numbers. Then they just
Right.
systematically eliminate the other tribe and then they win, and that's fine. Season four, however, there are a couple of tribe swaps in there, okay? And there were two tribes, Lenny. There was the Rotu tribe and the Maraamu tribe. All right. So the whole idea behind the season is that there's four players on Rotu that are really super tight. Okay.
Yeah.
They're always voting together. Then it gets to the point where there's like a tribe swap, and a couple of their players are kind of swapped over, but it essentially gets to the merge. There's the four Rotu players. There's two players kind of in the middle, and then there's three players from Maraamu that are still in the game. Okay. Then
Yeah.
the people on Maraamu are just like, look, we're screwed, and they're going to the two players that are sort of in the middle, and they're just like, look, we can like let's flip the game on Rotu. Like they're clearly going to the end, and the two players in the middle are just like, do you know what? We quite like the people on Rotu. We're happy if one of them wins the game, kind of thing. Just like if you're watching it back, you're like, come on, this is so frustrating. But then they have this hierarchy challenge. It's not exactly all asking questions about each other. It's not exactly that, but it does involve them having to take lives off each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so what they do, they first of all eliminate the Maraamu players, the former Maraamus, and then they eliminate the two players in the middle, and then the four of them are the final four in the challenge, and then they just one of them ends up winning immunity or reward or whatever it is. And the two players in the middle are just like, do you know what? This is interesting now because they took out the three Maraamu guys, but then we were the next two. And Maraamu was just like, this is what we've been saying this whole time. And then
Oh
at
man.
that tribal council, the five of them get together and then they take over the game.
No, that's fantastic. So maybe it's good to not for Divya, Chris, and Isaac to just take each other out a little bit.
I agree, but I don't know, or is it though? Because neither of them get immunity in that round, and all three of them receive votes.
Yeah, but at the same time, I don't think you can predict what happened to happen.
I mean, I guess to this particular fan who's asked about why Divya was taking out Isaac and Big Dog, I guess this kind of goes to all of what Divya was saying this round, that she's trying to make it look like they're not as close as they actually are.
Yeah,
So I think Divya just quietly playing a very good game, other than obviously voting for herself. I don't see the votes as they're given to me. I just see them when they're in the urn. So I
yeah,
looked at them. I saw there's one for Divya, and I thought, I think there's a good chance here that Divya's written her own name down, but I wasn't 100% sure. But at the time, I thought, do you know what? If she's not voting herself, then she'll be voting for Lenny anyway, and
yeah.
then it's not going to make a difference
More fun to leave it in.
because like either Lenny's going or he gets the idol played for him and it won't count. So it makes no difference as far as I'm concerned. I think the real question, and this is another question that if we ever get Divya, we'll have to ask her, okay? If I made her, if I told her that she couldn't vote for herself, would she have voted for either Isaac or Big Dog? Because then whoever got that vote would have left in that round.
Oh my God, that would have been genuine box office entertainment if
Mm.
she'd vote for one of them.
What does the rest of the game look like if Divya leaves there? Because you've got Big Dog and Isaac who are an obvious pair. You've got you and Holly that may or may not be a pair, and you've got Sock and Lucy who are an obvious pair.
Surely we're taking out Big Dog and Isaac. Surely.
Shall I go talk to Lenny just to make him feel better? I think that's the funniest line Isaac has had all season, frankly. Well, strap in because it's a wonderful Isaac
Yeah, what
episode.
time?
All right, Lucy seems confident Divya will flip next round, but that seems like a real gamble to me. Yeah, I mean, that's what we've been talking about. Lucy listing all of the little things people might have noticed about her being in cahoots with Sock, and then saying, and also he just told everyone we were, is fucking hilarious. Lenny's strategy chats with everyone here might as well include last rites. It's the pity chats of a man who's trapped after a car crash who gets to make one final call before dying. Okay, this play for Divya is obviously a bit desperate, but I think it's a fair shout that Lenny is not as big a threat now without any friends at all, and people are not acting like it even slightly. Also, she doesn't have an idol, so it's completely pointless.
Yep.
He's wearing his fucking Solent kit. I'm not having it. Okay, Isaac woke up this round and decided to finally have some banter of respect.
It's incredible. It really is.
How can we rile him up every round in a future season,
I
Lenny?
don't know.
What can we do?
I honestly didn't think I'd ever seen Isaac riled up, and it's because I hadn't. But he was riled up at me.
Is
I
this something
really
I
done
can...
him.
Season 3 at Tribal Council, I'm just laying into him every time.
Yeah,
Just...
you know what? He takes loyalty seriously. So I think you just snake him out, and he'll go for you.
But
So,
how can I snake him out as host?
I don't know. Just tell someone to do it. If you're in the game, season 3, you're allied with Isaac. Please, please snake him. Please, just for the content. It's worth it.
Oh, yes, 100%. Okay. Holly could vote off Big Dog here and come out an absolute legend to the jury with the ballsy play, but she won't because nobody trusts Lenny as far as they can throw him. Yeah, I mean that's certainly what it seemed like at the time. Um, what do you think? Who is now the biggest threat to win the game? Has Holly's win equity just surpassed everyone's at this point?
Um, yes, because if Holly's in the final and I'm on the jury, I'm doing my best to convince everyone to vote for Holly. I
Hmm.
think. And I don't think anyone would be as passionate a juror as me as if Holly was in the final.
Who now, from your perspective, in the game and also watching it back, has the most win likelihood, or if they make it to the end versus the others, between you, Holly, and Big Dog?
Uh, if I somehow made it to the end, I think I'd win.
Do you think you beat Holly and Big Dog at the end?
Yeah, because I think I've won over the jury up until this round. So yeah, I think I probably would. But the problem with me is I don't think I'm gonna get that far. I think I've got the least chance to make it to the end.
Yeah, I mean that's one thing that you have to think about. Like the last few seasons of US Survivor, you've had a couple of non-threatening players make it to the end, but they're so eloquent and they're so good at talking about their game that they're able to win over players that may have potentially played a better game.
Yeah,
How important do you think that is? And do you think that is, something that you people should be factoring in?
but I think it's massive. It is massive because there's a few people at Tribal Council that really just steal the show
Mm.
a lot of the time. But if you do that at the end, you are just going to get a lot of votes.
If you're sat at tribal council and someone's like out there always saying something funny, would that like set off your alarms? Like, did it happen with anyone in the game? Was there anyone that you were like, this person's being too funny at tribal council? I need to get rid of them.
No, I don't think so because when I'm thinking about it, I'm just thinking about who I'd vote for at the end.
Right.
So yeah, I'd say it didn't really cross. Maybe it should cross my mind, but it didn't. I was just thinking, like, knowing what I know, who would I vote for at the end?
Mm. Yeah, I think it's just like it's one of many things to think about, but I think there's other things that are more.
Because in my head, whatever decision I'd make in the final jury would be the right one.
Yeah, yeah, obviously.
So
Okay. Oh, Big Dog coming back after being shooed away is absolutely beautiful.
yeah, great stuff. Sorry, Chris.
People just begging Holly to vote against Big Dog here with the whole I've stuck by Chris this whole time. That zoom in on Noel lounging on the ground is so funny. I love it. Yeah, that wasn't me. I did not do any zooming here. It's whichever dickhead was filming it at the time. There was quite an important conversation between Isaac and someone else, and instead of listening to that, they zoomed in on Noel instead.
It's what can you do? It screams Max Berline, but
Lenny is right. Holly, it would be the player of the season. Divya, that is blatant pandering to Noel there. Yeah, Divya at Tribal Council when you say that you're the best player or something, and Divya is just like, oh yeah, apart from maybe Noel. So fucking
did
right to
Noel
call out this bullshit at Tribal. Actually, Lenny is not even close to running the table the way Isaac, Big Dog, and Divya are, and people are being so obtuse about it.
I appreciate it.
Great title line, Sock, you're the court jester jingling your little hat with bells on it. Well, a lot of the fans in alignment on on some of these issues, but Sock is I think everyone had such a good episode, to be honest. A lot of people saying that they owe Holly an apology after that idol play. What a
Was
legend.
not familiar with her game.
And then obviously the anticipation as to who now will it be getting voted out. Oh, that was crazy. Noel was losing his mind in the background. And then people sorry for Lucy. That's tough breaks has been thrown
Yeah.
around. Thank you to all the fans that wrote in.
If you've not been writing your fan comments into Mike each week, just send him a message with something you want read out in Fan Corner because he'll
Yeah,
definitely add
exactly,
it.
100%. Drop me your messages. Yeah, I would say post it on Twitter, but I feel like that's
Well, it's X these days, so
I think Twitter's going downhill. Everyone's moving to have you heard of Blue Sky?
I heard about it today. I saw a TikTok about it.
Right. I'm
Um,
not on it
but
myself, but I think that's where a
those
lot of the survivor community are heading.
those apps not for me. I don't think.
Yeah.
The thing is, when my sister watches this episode, she's probably going to want me to stay in, but she's probably just going to be disappointed that I've stayed in because Lucy's gone out.
Uh,
Like I think she'd rather keep Lucy in the game than me. So yeah, brutal for her.
we really got put one out for Lizzie Greenfield this week. That is
Yeah,
a,
but
a tough week for her. But she likes Sock from what I can remember. He's still in.
yeah, true.
You're still
But
in.
never be the same.
Who else
No.
did who else did she have a particular affinity for? Anyone
Oh,
still
she
in
liked
the
Divya as well.
Oh, there she goes.
Yeah,
She's
but
doing great. Do you have any opinions on Holly?
yeah, cold-hearted bitch. I believe my sister called her. Seems like she's horrible to everyone. Wouldn't want to be friends with her.
Yeah, I mean that's absolutely on the money. Oh, we need to
No.
tease next episode.
Oh,
We forgot to do that last time. What did we see in the preview? Oh, we saw the lolly stick puzzles, Lenny.
yeah,
Final six. I mean, you thought this episode was chaotic. Now there's six players that, well, as I said, have to pick up the pieces of what happened here.
yeah. And oh, it's spicy. It's exciting. Probably the closest we get to violence.
That is true. That is genuinely true. This is the biggest episode for you because this would give you a PB if you're able to
Yeah,
survive this one.
exactly. It's
Mm.
all on the line.
Lenny, thank you very much for joining me again this week for the If You Know You Know podcast.
She
Yeah.
really, I'm gonna go make dinner.